Okay, student, please write down your enrollment number and name in the chat box. All of you write down your enrollment number and name in the chat box. This is for your attendance. Again, I repeat, please write down your enrollment number and name in the chat box. This is for your attendance. This is mandatory. Okay, let us start. So, today's topic is your PC, computer and software. Today's topic is PC, computer and software. So what is actually what is this? This is actually related to your
Ma'am, anything can visible.
yes. Yes. What did you
Anything
say?
can't visible.
I'm not presenting anything. Just give you the concept. I'm not presenting anything. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Just a wait. So what is this? Actually, computer, what is a computer? Basic knowledge of the computer. Computer actually, it is an electronic device. It is actually an electronic device which have a processor. What is the function of the processor? The processor is basically process the instruction, whatever you have to give to the computer. That means the persons, maybe a programmer, maybe a software developer, give the instruction to the computer and it process the instruction, and after processing the instruction, it gives the result. So that is actually a computer, and obviously this should be operate within a fraction of time. Okay, so আরো কেউ আছে? So actually, origin of the computer, first of all, I want to discuss about the origin of the computer. In the very beginning, Abascus is a persons who basically, Chinese persons who developed the computer. That is not a computer, it is actually a calculating board. And that calculating board basically make all type of arithmetical calculation, which is called the abacus calculator or abacus calculating device. It is basically calculate all type of arithmetical calculation, and after that, and also it is called the counting frame. And after that, there are several scientists who gave the that means any is there. So there obviously there are several scientists who basically give their knowledge, give their theories regarding to the computer. And the most important thing is here after the abacus is the Pascal. Pascal is a French mathematician who basically built a calculator which is called the Pascal calculator, and in that calculator he give all type of that is your addition, subtraction, and all type of arithmetical operation is done by the Pascal calculator. And after that, Pascal calculator, obviously there is no memory. In the modern computer, we find there is a memory which basically store the data, maybe temporarily, maybe permanently. So in the Pascal calculator, we have no memory. So after Pascal calculator, there is another scientist is known as a Charles Babbage. Another scientist his name is Charles Babbage. Is developed a computer which is called the differential engine, and he is an English mathematical professor. And he developed a computer which is called the differential engine. Also, it is a analytical engine, and is basically is a concept. That means whatever the modern computer is generated from the differential engine. After the Charles Babbage, there is a scientist whose name is here. That means von Neumann machine. What is a modern computer? It basically consists of the input, output, and your that is CPU, that is processor. Now that means in the von Neumann machine, we have mainly a processor, that means a central processing unit, which contain your ALU, that is arithmetical logical unit, and obviously some control unit, and there is also some register in the von Neumann machine. So whatever is actually the concept of the von Neumann machine, that means data and address are stored in the same memory unit. Okay, this is the main concept of the von Neumann machine, and from this concept we now developed a real or the modern computer. So this is the concept of the generation, that is historical generation of the computer. And after that, I want to discuss there are some generation of the computer. That means in the first generation, basically we have some vacuum tube. The first generation computer, it is an electronic device. Basically, it is named as electronic numerical integer and computer. It mainly consists of the vacuum tube, and the vacuum tube basically used with the filament and which are the source of the electronics. And this is basically very what I want to say, the vacuum tube is used for the calculation as well as the storage and control. But the difficulty in this system is we cannot use this system for a long time, because the vacuum tube, those who join later on, please write your enrollment number and name in the chat box. This is for your attendance, and everything is recorded. So please write your enrollment number and name in the chat box. Next came to the that is your electronic that means your first generation computer vacuum tube. What is the difficulty of this system? This system should not run for a long time. Why? Because after some time it is totally hot and it should be there is no cooling mechanism, so it should be stopped, and after some time again it would be started. So this is the basic difficulty of your first generation computer, that is vacuum tube. Next came to the second generation computer. Second generation computer basically consists of some solid state of component which are called the transistor and the diode. So these are there are the magnetic core storage which basically made up of the second generation computer. So in the second generation computer, this transistor basically made up of the semiconducting material, and obviously it controls the flow of electricity through the circuit. Obviously this is better than the first generation computer. That means the disadvantage of the first generation computer, that means it doesn't run for a long time. So in the second generation computer, it is long, it is not for a long time, but there is also some disadvantage of this second generation computer. Actually, this is a totally controlled by the that is it is totally electronic. That means circuit is electrical circuit. So there are some problems in the transistor, and after that it came to the third generation computer, and obviously this is a what I want to say, this is the base concept of the modern generation computer, that means integrated circuit, that is IC chip. IC chip basically developed, it is basically used in the modern computer, and it is also a semiconductor material which is basically that means semiconductor material. So it is made up of the silicon, and so obviously the cost of the that is your hardware should be come down from the beginning. That is why we have a low cost computer. Now this IC chip basically that is it is a basic material used to make the computer chip, transistor, silicon diode, and other circuit switching device. That means the several devices are fabricated on the IC chip. Okay, so this is your third generation computer, and the fourth generation computer, obviously microprocessor. There is a microprocessor, and after the invent of the microprocessor, that is a very large scale circuit, and with the help of the VLSI, that is very large scale integrated circuit, we just develop the computer and run the computer in the long time, and obviously this computer is not hot as the before. So this is the concept of the fourth generation computer, and after that fifth generation computer, there is some concept of the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, what does it mean? It is actually the human intelligence. We just place the human intelligence into the computer, so it is called artificial intelligence. And obviously the invent of the robots. There are several programming language are there. So these are the fifth generation computer. Next came to the computer system. That means what are the components of the computer? The first component is your input, second component is your storage unit, third component is your processing unit, and fourth component is your output. So these are the basic concept of the computer. What is an input? Input device means your keyboard, your mouse. These are all input device. Scanner. These are all input device. And what is the storage unit? Storage unit is your, that is memory unit. Without memory, You can't store anything, any data, any program, any information in the computer. So we have a memory unit. Obviously, there are several memory unit in my computer, and one is an output unit. Output unit, you have to display your tasks. Show what are the output device. That is your monitor is your output device. Your printer is your output device. And there is another thing which is called the CPU. All of you know it. What is a CPU? CPU means Central Processing Unit. And this CPU is actually the heart of the whole system. Why it is called the heart of the whole system? Because the all type of control operation is done by the CPU. That means within the CPU, we have the control unit which basically control the whole system. That means what is this whole system is? When we input the data via the input device, and that data are stored in your memory via some bus. These are called the system bus. And with the help of the system bus, this data are stored into the memory. And when the CPU want to process the data, it simply fetch the data from the memory, and then again the data is transferred from memory to CPU via the system bus. Obviously, this total operation is controlled by the control unit. And then there are some registered within the CPU. What are the function of register? Register are called the temporary buffer, because the difference, that means the speed difference between your CPU and the memory is obviously is a very large. That means CPU needs some temporary buffer, that means storage area, where the speed difference should be minimized. So that is why the register are basically maintained by the CPU. And in the register, there are so many register, obviously. There are so many registered, obviously. Say one is your memory buffer register, that it contain only the data part. That is one is memory address register, that it contain only the address part. Then there is some instruction registered also. Then there are program counter also. So there are so many registered, and obviously there are several also general purpose registered, accumulator, etc., etc. You are so you basically covered this section in your second semester. So I didn't go to the depth. So this is the concept of your central processing unit, and this is a basic computer that is a component of the basic computer. And also there is another part in the central processing unit is called the arithmetic and logical unit, which is called the ALU. What is this? This is basically a unit which mainly, or better to say, it is a circuit. It is a circuit where we make the addition operation and any type of logical operation. Addition operation is, say A plus B is my addition operation, A into B is an addition, multiplication operation, any type of arithmetic operation is done by the ALU. And what is a logical unit? What are the type of logical operation? That means if A greater than B, A less than B, whether A equals to B or not. These are type of the logical operation, and all things are basically performed by the ALU. So this is basically the concept of the basic computer operation. Next came to there is some system, that is computer system unit basically contain. There are some system unit. For example, one is your port and connector. What is a port? Port is nothing but it is a connector located in the motherboard or a separate adapter. The port basically communicated with different device and the peripheral attached to it. So this is the concept of the port. Next one is your obviously power supply. Power supply, you know it. That means it changes the normal household electricity into the electricity that is the computer use. Basically, this power supply mainly adjust it. It is mainly used to adjust the outside electricity to the computer internal electricity in the component of the computer of the component. So this is basically power supply, or it is called the PSU. Then came to the motherboard. There obviously this is the main circuit board of the microcomputer, and this is also called the system board, and this is a circuit board where all the components are connected within a personal computer. So this is called the motherboard, and next came to the classification of the computer. Classification of the computer, we have to classify the computer on the basis of the amount of data that can be stored in the memory, speed of the internal operation of the computer, number and type of the peripheral device, amount and type of the software available. So on this basis, we judge how many type of computers are there. So what is the type of the computer? First is your microcomputer. Microcomputer, it basically when the IC, that is silicon chips, are developed, that silicon chips in the microcomputer, we have the silicon chips. And obviously, it is a digital computer system under the control of the stored program, use a microprocessor. Then your programmable read-only memory, that is your ROM, and random memory, that is RAM, and these are the physical component of the microcomputer. Next came to the mini computer. The mini computer system, it is basically is more faster than the microcomputer, and that means it has a memory which is better than the microcomputer, and obviously the operating system of the mini computer is very high. That is, speed of the processor is very high. That is your mini computer. And next came to the large computer. Large computer means those computers are basically flexibility and the speed. These are main concept is your flexibility and the speed. It usually contains the full control of the system with a minimal operation intervention. So these are the large computer. Large computer basically is a single processing configuration to nationwide computer based network involved large computer. So obviously you have speed in the microsecond. And last came to the mainframe computer. What are the mainframe computer? Huge computer. But it is actually a multi-user system. And obviously it calculated huge data within a fraction of second, and it also stored a huge data. So it is basically used to calculate the weather report, then your say flight control. These are used. These are basically there. The mainframe computer are used. And these are the computer basically, and according to the technology, again the computer is classified into analog computer and digital computer. Up to this, any query? Up to this, any query?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you a book?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am, I have.
Just open your first block, and whatever written in the first block, I have just covered this section. Okay.
Okay,
Next
ma'am.
came to the your classification of the computer according to the technology. According to the technology, you have basically two type of computer is there. One is an analog and another is a digital. And what is an analog? Analog is a continuous signal. Some continuous signal, obviously, our voice signal, that is voice is my analog signal. So this is some continuous signal is called the analog signal. And what is the digital signal? Digital signal, when this analog signal is divided into some section or some part, according to the time, based on the time. If it is divided, it is separated, or it is discrete, then it is called the digital signal. And the computer basically use this type of digital signal is called the digital computer. Okay. Now mainly all type of digital, we basically based on the two value, one is 0, another is 1. So mainly the computer totally developed on the binary system, that is 0 and 1. And whatever you have written it basically converted into the machine language, which is basically based on this binary system, that is 0 or 1. So this is your digital signal, and whatever the computer used, the digital signal is called the digital computer. So what is the hybrid computer? What do you understand by hybrid? Hybrid means when both the analog and the digital computer are basically combined, and their best features are taken and extracted and made a computer, that is called the hybrid computer. Basically, it is measuring the capability of the analog computer and the logical and control capability. That is two concept. The main concept of the analog computer is your measuring the capability, and for the digital section, it basically logical and control capability. Combine these two concepts, when combined and develop a computer, it gives a hybrid computer. So this is a concept of your that is classification of the computer according to the technology. So there are some concepts in your book. You have already covered this. This is integrated. What is an integrated circuit, electronic circuit, vacuum tube, etc., etc. You just simply cover it. Let's come to the section operating system. What is this operating system? Operating system, actually this is nothing but a software. Okay, so it is actually a system software. First of all, I want to know what is software and what is a hardware, because I have a total concept of the computer, generation of the computer, classification of the computer, but I didn't give you the what is the hardware and what is the software. Hardware, what does it mean? Hardware means the circuit. Basically, it refers to the circuit of the computer. It is called the hardware. And then what is the software? Software means a program which is written by either the software developer or the programmer or user who have written the program, and that is the software. That means software is actually a set of instruction which is written by the programmer to perform some tasks. And that instruction is your software. So basically, what are that is type of the software? There are basically three type of software. One is your system software, and in the system software we have the operating system. So what is this? So this operating system is actually control the whole hardware as well as the whole system of the computer. That means it is the main concept. Without any operating system, you cannot run your computer. Why? Why the operating system is such type of vital features? Why this operating system have? So operating system basically manages the memory. Manages the memory. What does it mean? We have a memory, obviously that is limited. We have a limited capacity of memory, and now we are working in the multitasking environment. What do you understand by multitasking environment? Multitasking environment means there is so many users work on the same processor is a multitasking environment. So for example, bank, any type of in the banking, if you go to the bank, then you see In the window, they have a terminal which are called the dummy terminal, have no processor, have no memory in them. And there is another terminal which is in your admin office or admin room, which is actually called the server, and all the terminals are basically connected with that server. And when you go to the window, say you go to the first window and you asked her to withdraw something, withdraw some amount, then first this dummy terminal connected with the server and sent the message to the server. First of all, the message is whether you are a valid customer or not. The first is check whether you have a account number that is matched with the database. This is the first one. Second one, whether you have a sufficient amount in your that is in your what is called the that is in your account. So obviously, first it to check if this amount is less than whatever that you want to ask to withdraw, then simply deny it. Give the message to the dummy terminal. Just simply deny it, and if it is a sufficient amount, then it allow you to withdraw. So this is actually the concept, and total thing is the manage of the memory is totally done by the operating system. Not only memory, but also input-output device is also managed by the operating system. It also manage the processor bus time is also managed, and there are several function of the operating system. So obviously, operating system is the main program which basically act as an interface between the user and the computer hardware of the system. That is, without any operating system, no computer, you can't run any computer. Let's come to there are different type of operating system. First of all, the beginning we have DIX operating system, and that DIX operating system is a single task, single user environment where you have just submit only one task to the processor, and that will be processed and give the result to you. After processing it, then you again go to the second job. So these are the DIX operating system. And next came to your window now. That means after the DIX operating system comes to the window. Window obviously it is a multitasking environment, and each users give the instruction to the processor, and the processor process the instruction, but at a time. This processor gives you the result to you. So these are the concept of your operating system. Next came to the application, that means application of the computer, how the computer are applied in the field. So in the real world field, basically everywhere you have found that the computer, maybe in the banking, maybe for the this your traffic light control, then your sports, school, college, institution. These are the various type of field where you simply apply the computer. And I want to discuss, just take one example to apply the computer in your university. So obviously in the university there's a various type of jobs basically done in the university. First job is your student admission, then it maintain the student register, then it maintain the course detail register, then it maintain the teachers, that means all the lecturer details register, and there are so many accounting figure also, there are so many jobs. If it is done in the manual, then obviously it gives a large time to process it and give you the output. So computer is basically used in such type of university to maintain and smoothly operate all the job within a fraction of time. So this is the actually application of computer in the general field. And obviously in the basically any type of hospital, healthcare management, and these are the concept of the that is your, and now in the robotic world this is a very much important. Also the weather, in the weather report you have the easily give the statistical analysis very quickly for the weather report, and these are obviously the application of the computer. Then came to the what is the limitation. This is a very vital thing. What is the limitation of the computer? One limitation, it is basically controlled by the human beings. If the human, that is the programmer, give a wrong program to the computer or wrong feed a wrong data into the memory, then what will be happen? The total thing will be meshed. So the output is basically incorrect. This is the first limitation. That means computer does not check it. Whatever is given to the computer, it basically gives the incorrect or correct result. It didn't check it. So this is the concept of the limitation, and obviously no intelligence. No intelligence means though the computer is very first, very give the accurate result, but like a human being, it doesn't have any intelligence. But this is not actually the limitation. Now we also overcome this limitation because we have built the artificial intelligence into the computer system. As a result, this intelligence part is totally overcome. That is, no intelligence part is totally overcome, and obviously you can do it. And next, self-care. Self-care means like a human being's computer obviously doesn't care itself. So this is a very much important thing, and these are the limitation of the computer. Now tell me, any problem? Any query?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then now I've moved to the unit 2 of the first block. Unit 2 of the first block, basically what I already told you, that contain the block diagram of in the unit 2, that is input, output, CPU, and storage. Okay. Next came to the, already covered this section. What is the data? Now, the first and foremost thing is the concept data. What is data and what is an information? Data actually means any real-time entity. That means your name is a data, your ID is a data. So these are the basic unit of the computer. So after feeding all the data within the computer, these data are processed. What is the process? That means by the processor. By the processor means if you want to make any arithmetical addition, then it will be processed and give the result. That means result is the information. That means the main concept is data are fed into the computer, and that is processed by the processor of the computer, and which basically give the information, and that information is stored in the memory of the computer. So basically what are the and obviously next came to the number system. Now what is the number system? This is a very vital thing, and in every question you just most probably this is a compulsory question, and you have a conversion of the number system, and this obviously this is very vital thing. So in the number system we have generally there are few number system, that is binary number system, octal number system, then hexadecimal number system, that is digital number. Yes, another one is your decimal number system.
Decimal, hexadecimal.
Yes. Anybody? Any query?
Ma'am, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Previous chapter you are discussing classification of computer. So my question is, what is difference between supercomputer and mainframe computer?
Supercomputer and mainframe computer differences. Supercomputer actually contain the artificial intelligence, whereas mainframe computer doesn't have. Basically, in the robotic field, you use a supercomputer. But mainly mainframe is used in your large inventory to maintain the large inventory. The huge amount of database is there. That is hospital, railway reservation, railway system, banking sector. There you just use the mainframe, but you can't use the supercomputer. The supercomputer basically used to calculate the if any statistical record is maintained, if any artificial intelligence part is maintained, then you have to switch over to supercomputer. Is it okay?
Okay, ma'am. It's okay.
Any question? Yes.
Ma'am, we can use mainframe computer for research purpose for artificial intelligence.
You can use it. Mainframe computer for research purposes because it holds a huge amount of data.
Okay.
In a microcomputer, we have a limited memory, but in a mainframe, the memory is basically very large. So obviously, it holds a huge amount. For example, in the railway system, railway network, the railway network basically it contains a huge database. So how can you store it in the microcomputer? And obviously, there is we have a limited power of processor. You cannot use a microcomputer in such a vast network. So then you use the mainframe. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I also have a question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, you said that the analog computer and the digital computer.
Right.
So we use presently we use digital computers. But what are the examples of analog
Repeat
computers?
it. I can't hear you clearly.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I want to say that what are the examples of analog computer? Today we use only digital computers. There are no analog computers. So what are the example of analog computers?
Example. Actually, analog computer, that is your PBX, this type of computer is the analog computer. Where only the voice signal is transmitted.
Okay.
So this is an analog computer.
Clear, ma'am.
Ma'am, we
Yeah. Clear?
Actually, ma'am,
Yes,
previous
ma'am,
chapter you are discuss analog and digital computer, and next you can told him us hybrid computer. So
Yes.
what is example of hybrid computer?
Hybrid computer. Example. At present, I forget it. I will give you the concept of the next class. Okay? Hybrid computer on hybrid computer.
Okay, but hybrid computer maybe it's accurate to than digital computer because it's
No,
mixture to.
actually, hybrid computer contain the basic characteristic of the analog computer as well as the digital computer. So analog computer basically it hold a high capacity, and in the digital computer, the logic concept it is applied in the hybrid computer. So generally, modern computer is a hybrid computer. I think so, but I am not sure. I will give you in the next class. This concept I will give you in the next class. Okay?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Any question?
Ma'am, which type of computers are used in for researches?
Any type of computer is used in the researches. Depend on your research unit. Any type of computer. You can
Okay, ma'am.
also use your laptop in the research. I mainly use my laptop in my research work.
Ma'am, I am talking about scientific researches.
Scientific research is basically actually this is mainly depends on the user need.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so what type of research is done by the user? That is the user. If you told me I want to research on some say some on the population, then simply computer is used in the research work. But if you say that I'm researching in a say in the artificial intelligence field, then it would be default,
Okay, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Any question? Yes. Anybody?
No
No.
question, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, one more question. What is von Neumann architecture? Please
What is
describe it. Von Neumann architecture, ma'am.
von Neumann architecture? Actually, von Neumann architecture is basically uh, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Okay, thank you. Von Neumann architecture is a basic concept of the modern architecture. What is the modern architecture? Modern architecture contains there are several components in the modern architecture, and with the computer we basically analyzes the that means large data. Also, we can give the result. And the von Neumann architecture basically contains the basic component. Basic component means whatever your computer is, one is an input device, one is an output device, one is the memory unit, and another is your processor, that is CPU. And that CPU basically contains the arithmetical logical unit you have in the von Neumann architecture. Control unit you also have in the von Neumann architecture, but von Neumann architecture basically store, that is it use a register which mainly store the data and address in the same register. This is the vital features of the von Neumann architecture. Now today we separated these two registers. One register only store the data part and another register only store the address part. So this is the main concept of the von Neumann architecture. Any question? Any query? Any question?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Let's come to the number system. This is a very vital topic because in the question paper you also see the conversion of the number system, how you converted the number system from one to another. Now I just represent you and show the representation. That means just a minute. Have you seen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. So first is a number system. First one is your binary number system. First of all, you just write okay. Just write this one 10101 in your copy. Have you read it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is this 10101? This is actually a binary number. It represents something I don't know. What is representing? I don't know. But I want to convert this binary number into the decimal equivalent. Then what is my decimal equivalent? Actually, when you feed the data in the computer, any number, if I want to feed the data into the number as any number in the computer, so basically we give the decimal number, not the binary number. So how the computer basically converted this decimal number into the binary number and again binary number into your decimal number. Now I have to give the concept. Okay. So what is the first number? 10101. Okay. So this one is called the most significant bit, and this one is called the least significant bit. So what is now the concept is what is bit? Bit means 0 or 1. That means the circuit, the computer, basically the whole system is depend upon the circuit. And the circuit, when the, suppose you generate a circuit, just a minute. How can I show you? Okay, have you seen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I want to draw a simple circuit. Any type of simple circuit. Say this is a circuit. And here is a bulb. Say this is a bulb. And this is a circuit. And here we feed a battery. Say, how can I say? Okay. And obviously you have a switchboard. You have a switchboard. Now this is a switchboard. Okay. Now when the you just put on your switch, then the electricity or the current is passed through the line and the bulb is glow. Okay, so this is the concept of your binary unit, that is bit. When the switch is on, the current is passed and the bulb is glow, and one bit of information is stored in your memory unit, that is called the flip-flop. Okay, now when that means switch is off, no current is flow and no information is stored in the memory unit, that is represent as a 0. Can you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is basic concept of the circuit. This is a simply circuit, basic concept of the circuit. Now I want to suppose my binary unit number is 1010. Have you seen it? Very small. Just increase the font, okay? And 01, right? So this is called your most significant bit, and this is called the least significant bit. And you know it, 01 is a bit and 8-bit form 1 byte. Okay. So obviously I want to convert this number into your decimal number. That is whatever I want to feed into the computer. So what is the process? The process is first you go to the least significant bit. Least significant bit means 1. That is 1 into 2. Why 2? 2 means for the binary, because binary base is 2. So first is 1 into 2 to the power of 0. Okay. Then plus. That means plus is not after 2 to the power of 0, but before 2 to the power of 0. Next came to the 0. You know 0 is something is multiplied by the 0 is 0, obviously. So the second position is your 2 to the power of 1. And the third position is again 1. So again I would want to write 1 into say this is your 2 to the power of
2.
sorry. 1 is already there. So 2 to the power of 2. Again 0, and third one is 1 into 2 to the power of 4. Now you calculate how much total will be kept. Now tell me.
6.
Is it 21?
21.
Right. So in this way, you have to convert from the binary number to the decimal number. Then how you reconvert it? You just simply say this is 21. So this, let us consider this is 21 is my, right. Now you simply make it as the LCM. LCM means with the 2. With the 2, you just simply give the LCM. Sorry. Okay. So what is the LCM? Now tell me what is the quotient and what is the division?
10 and remainder will be 1.
Remainder will be 1. So obviously here 10 will become here 10 and remainder is 1. Okay. Now again you give the another division by the 2. In this way you just give the division up to 0, right? When your that means your quotient would be 1 and divisor would be 0, then you stop your algorithm. And now you how to give the binary value. This is a way, that means from bottom to top you just give the binary value, binary number. So this is a 41. You first divided it 2 by quotient is 20, remainder is 1. Then again 20 divided is by 2, so again is my quotient, remainder is 0. In this way, and when the quotient is 0 and remainder is 1, you just simply stop your algorithm. And now what is the binary number? 1 0 1 0 0 1. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any question?
Ma'am, can you show an example of a binary number which contain a decimal?
Yes, right. Now came to the decimal system. Now came to the decimal part. So obviously this is a decimal conversion. That means this is a decimal part, and decimal part is into by 2, not divided by 2. It is into by 2. And when you give an into, then the resulting integer part is 1. Okay. So in this way you have into it. Got it or not got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, please repeat.
Acha. Just a minute. Say my number is 21.25. Right. So this is already I have found it 1010 something. This is the binary number. Okay, that is 21 is equivalent to 10101. But now what is the 25? First 25 is into by 2. Dot 25. It is multiplied by 2. Then what will the result?
0.5.
50.5.
0.5.
Yes, it will be 0.5. 0.5. So before 0.5, that means before your decimal part, this is your 0. So now your result is your, that means here 0 will become. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Now, again it would be multiplied by 2. Then what is the result?
1.0. 1.0.
Yes, 1.0. That means before the decimal you have a 1, and that 1 is taken here.
1. Acha.
Then what is my result?
1 0.
0
not
1
1 0.
0 1.
Right. So what is the conversion of the 21.25? 1 0 1
0
0
1 0 1 point 0 1.
1.01. Clear?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Up to this, we have complete the class. Now any query regarding to this class?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What?
Ma'am, yeah, if you few minutes ago you told us everything work on binary system, our computer. But my question is, when we store a movie or song, it's stored
That would be
on
converted
binary
into
system.
yeah, that would be converted into the binary system.
Okay, so everything is stored in memory system is binary. Am I
Yes,
right?
everything means everything. It would be converted into the machine language, and machine language is based on the beat.
Okay, so when we play a music system or videos, anything, when we started, it's all background to process our binary system 1010, etc.
Right. There is basically a software which basically translates this binary system, that means this machine language, to your language. There is a
Okay.
software.
Okay, thank you.
Anything? Any question
Okay,
regarding
ma'am.
to this class?
So you told me everything is stored in binary system 0 1 1. So for example, any software when work, give me an example. I put 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So all things work on binary system. So it's stored first binary system or any number system first.
No, actually what happened, when you feed the decimal number, first it converted into the machine format. Okay, that means in the machine language and stored in that language in the computer. And when you make the addition, that means this is actually a binary addition. Whatever I have told you in the next class, I want to give this concept on the next class. This is a binary addition. And in the binary addition, it basically adds the two binary number, which is basically converted and give the result of the two addition binary number into a third binary number, and that binary number is again converted into the decimal number, and that is my result. So in this way, just the computer logic is operated.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Anyone? No question? Okay,
No, ma'am.
okay. Thank you, and I want to end this class. And next class, obviously, your next Saturday. Please, all of you go through the first block, whatever I told you, and in the second block, number system, I'll continue it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.